All right. Now, sliders.
Slider. So
They're not steps, they're sliders.
No,
That's
they're
good.
not. Although it does get used as a step.
Of course.
Yeah, so this was another one of the first things that got put on there. And because of the wheelbase, I knew the angles, this is going to be a problem and probably something I damage as I'm learning, especially learning how to take lines and all that stuff. I mean, you make mistakes. It's just how it goes. And because I was at stock height, there was a lot of trails, a lot of rocks that were just getting a little too close. So this was fantastic, and it really allowed me to learn trails that I would otherwise be doing damage on. So this is from DeMello Off-Road, and it's his Dominator slider. It's a bolt-on.
It's bolted to the frame, yeah.
Yeah, and so super easy install. I love that it's tight and tucked in and at the angle it's at.
Even if you're experienced, you're going to use a slider as another part of your suspension on a really bouldery trail.
Oh yeah, it becomes a pivot point. It's all kinds of things. So no, that's saved my guts on many occasions. Even this weekend.
We had some fun.
Definitely.
All right. What else do we have here? Maybe start from the rack.
So the cage.
The cage, the rack cage.
So this is by Brute Force Fab, and it's a small fabricator out of the Fresno area, and he makes them bolt into the bed. And when I was researching just different options, the usual ones are the ones that go right on the rail, and those are really easy to find, and you can get them quickly, and that's great, and it makes them convenient. And for a lot of people, because you're looking for a solution to mount your tent, it is the easiest way to go. Maybe it was overkill. I don't think it is, but I knew that my bed was going to be flexing. And I know just what they're designed to do. And the thought of having something on the rail that wasn't necessarily meant to hold all the weight I was planning on putting on there. This is a brand new truck, and I didn't want to see this. I couldn't imagine seeing this bend. So for me, the peace of mind of having something that bolted into the factory mounts was huge. And again, peace of mind has been kind of a big decision for all of my stuff. I don't want to have to worry about the gear once it's been installed. So getting this one, it's solid, and the bed can flex all at once, and it's staying put. So and it holds all this gear. He offers all these great mounts, and you can kind of use your own fun little stuff.
And Max Tracks.
Max Tracks. What would we do without these? I stand behind. This is something I always recommend. I think it's a great product. I think its durability and just the fact that it can carry the weight of the vehicle without cracking. I mean, in reality, I think we all know additional traction, however it shows up, is going to get you out of whatever's happening, and you use what you need to use. But something that's not going to fail you or cause an injury or whatever, to me, this has the most reliability. So that is there. And it's on this. I get a lot of questions about this. It's not mounted in a traditional way. For additional security, I added Canoe Locks. So they're steel braided straps. Meant for a canoe or some type. And this was a temporary fix because I just needed to get it up there. And I was like, oh, well, maybe we'll just strap it through there and it'll figure it out. And it works. So it's a little extra work, but I love the way it looks, and it works for me. So.
And the steel straps keep people from being able to put them.
Yeah, I mean, all this gear, there's nothing that you're ever going to put on your vehicle that's going to make it protected 100%. But I guess I'm always trying to slow people down, whatever you can do.
Right.
If I can get there first, or
if they have to make noise.
Yeah. So not completely 100%, but it'll slow them down. So.
Cool. Well, so the first thing I noticed, you're member 1655. Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah. Glad to have you in the community. So you have your 8 horsepower upgrade right here.
Yes, that was very important.
Yeah, it's
huge
important
mod.
on the hills.
Huge mod.
Yeah. All right, what else do you want to point out on the back?
There
pretty
it
stock.
is. Yeah, it's still pretty stock. This was the point that was making contact when it was in stock form the most. That just kind of became normal. We joke that this is like your skid plate. Yep. Because it saved a lot. Upgrading to this the Stage 6 and then the RXT rear with the Icon was huge. So that's actually been like night and day on the action in the back and just keeping it where it's supposed to be. Which having the truck with the additional, and this isn't even a long bed, this is a short bed, that makes a huge difference. So I'm loving that. Working off the cage, I was able to upgrade to these lights, and these are spots. They have the side shooters, Ridge's new side shooter. I thought they would be great to have like more floodlight. They've actually just been a great tail light. They make it so I don't disappear in the dust.
Cool. Cool.
So I thought the ambers would just be an option, and they've actually become the way I'm going to run them full time.
Do you daytime drive with them on?
On trail, yeah. It makes
you do a lot of desert driving.
Definitely in the desert. As soon as the season changes, that becomes a great place. So you know, out in a wash where you're just kicking up all kinds of dust, this color disappears. I mean, I've had people come over the radio like, Jillian, tap your brakes. I don't know where you're at. So
now you run with these.
Yes. That. I additionally thought for camp it would be great to have some light, but that's actually where I've seen the most benefit to them. So that's awesome.
Great. And our friends at High Tents.
Yes.
You have a high tent.
This is what kind of threw us into the overlanding thing. I didn't really care for camping, I'll be honest. I thought I just had some poor experiences with ground tents and thought, oh, that's just not for me. I'm not going to do that. And didn't really know this stuff existed. And again, that was in the education in the first few months and trying to figure out that overlanding was a thing or that people could camp in different ways and at different places. So getting this guy kind of, because it forced the cage, getting something that would be a good platform for it, and then it put you out multiple days. You didn't just have to do day trips, you could extend that. So it kind of upped the ante, but I'm so glad it did. It's like this, for me, it's like a tree house, and so it kind of taps into something kind of childlike.
Yeah.
And I definitely know they're not for everybody, and I really think that you have to be willing to use it all the time. They're an investment. It's not a tent where you just keep it in your garage most of the time and use it everywhere. It's like, if you're gonna go out, look into it.
Okay, so what do we have on this side?
So the other side of the rack, cage, some first aid and additional fuel.
Hey, you have a high lift under there.
It's in there.
Have you ever used it?
Yes.
Okay, you have used it.
It has been used, right on those sliders. So everything worked good.
Right on.
No one died. That was key.
That's not a given with a high lift.
No,
you have to be very careful.
We like our teeth, our jaws, the window on my door, the
very
whole thing.
careful with a high lift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, first aid.
Yep.
This is a great kit by Outer Limits Supply. They've been a huge supporter in the community and just a small company, and he's been awesome, I think.
We have one.
Yeah, I just love what he's doing. I love what he stands for. He just wants to get behind people who are doing things that he believes in. So he's been awesome to get alongside with.
Great location. You know exactly where to get it. It's very accessible. It's not buried under a bunch of gear.
Exactly. And when I started out, it was packed away in the gear. And I don't remember how that came about, but someone brought it to my attention that you do realize if something happens, you have to go looking for that. Yeah. And it was like, oh.
Someone told me that too. And oh yeah.
If you haven't, you hope you never have one of those issues, but yeah, so this is got the quick release mount, which lets me just take it off super easy. And that's also designed by them. And that's cool.
Cool.
Obviously, when I'm home and shopping, it comes off because obviously that's easy to steal. So then the Roto Packs, this was a great solution for fuel and additional water when I first started. I mean, they make it super easy to mount. It has a lot of options. It stacks well. I'm moving away from them, going to the jerry cans, just because I'm kind of starting to develop spots for that. And I'd prefer not to carry fuel in this way as much, I guess.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to mention on the back of the rig?
Well, again, because of the pickup truck and any of the overland rigs that just get super heavy, our suspensions obviously help, but because of the leaf springs that are on pickup trucks, that kind of becomes a weak point for all the additional weight that gets carried. So I just wanted to highlight, the RXT rear is what Icon just recently released, and that allows you a brand new, their own leaf spring. And so it's not an add-a-leaf, and it's definitely miles away from the stock, but that has been huge, again, in keeping this whole thing where it's supposed to be. And the way we use our vehicles and the weight we're at, that becomes a necessity real quick.
You're not bouncing down the trail.
Yeah, and it just makes it miserable when you feel like you're just losing stuff in the back or you're making contact when you shouldn't be. So So the addition of that, I'm really, really enjoying the change there. So yeah.
Cool. All right. Is there anything else you want to mention about the rig?
No.
We cover it?
I think so. It's taken us places.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it.
What are your next upgrades? Your next the next things you may be doing with your rig?
Well, because I think I've aired up my tires far too many times, and we're airing up 2 vehicles typically when we go out. Onboard air would be a nice option. So I have the ARB set up, the twin air compressor from them, and I think I'm going to put it in the engine bay. To me, I think that'll be enough, and I'm happy there.
Cool. Love the build. Love following your adventures. Jillian, thank you very much for sharing your build.
No.
Really appreciate it.
I feel honored.
How can people follow along with your adventures? Tell us. Where can they find you?
So Instagram is probably the biggest contact point. So it's Jillian Rebekah. And
you do anything on YouTube?
I am on YouTube,
Great.
and that's kind of just capturing the weekend adventures. More for us, I think it kind of becomes a photo album. So that's also Jillian Rebekah. Everything's Jillian Rebekah, I think, on all forms of social media.
That makes it easy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's great.
So
cool. Yeah. All right, thank you. And check out Jillian. Go to her Instagram page. And also, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments down below and we will answer them. Jillian will answer them as well.
All right.
Thanks again.
Thank you.